Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday. People like to welcome me all to the show. I know I haven't posted any shows, any episodes in about 4 days due to the terrible condition that we're suffering here in Houston, Texas, right? Texas, period. No water, no lights. It's cold. We're on the boil your water mandate, and that's hard for some to do when there's no electricity to boil the water because everyone doesn't have a gas stove. People are getting into their cars to start up their heat, but are dying from carbon monoxide poisoning because the garage was down. Then they advise you do not do that even if your garage is up. Don't bring any propane heaters into your home. I mean, it's so much going on right now to where your self-preservation instincts kick in. Survival kicks in. Bottled water, gotta find it. Shortage on gas. I mean, so many people are in the dire straits to where they're panicking, they're upset. People are trying to do anything to keep warm and survive. This has been a horrific situation that we are currently going through now, and we're not out of the woods yet because they're expecting a hard freeze overnight, right? But this was also a blessing in disguise, though. Because when you face this reality and you come out on the other side, you don't have time to hear shit or what somebody else says or thinks or try to judge you, especially dealing with racism. No black person, especially who went through this current snowstorm of no power, no electricity. You cold, you trying to bundle up, you fighting the elements, food scarce, no water. Right, and you're gonna come out of this and put up with the same bullshit that you put up with before you went in it. It's not happening. People are not going for it because when you look over and you see, wait a minute, white folks going through the same thing I'm going through. They suffering, they crying, they don't have any food. Hell, when that black store owner opens up his store, they rushing in. Man, what do you have that I can survive with? What food you have hot that I can eat? Racism goes out the window. They stay humble. Thank you, sir. Matter of fact, here go a tip. I appreciate you being open to help me and my family. Yeah, right. Racism is dead. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that racism died with rush-limbaugh. Now, I don't know the life of rush-limbaugh, but if he was a horrible person, if some say whether you going to heaven or hell, I don't know about all that. I'm simply saying, with this cold snap, as far as Texas is concerned, racism died with rush-limbaugh. That's it for us. We not putting up with no police brutality, and especially when our Senator Ted Cruz ran to Cancun to escape off our tax dollars to escape this harsh weather, to go get him some comfort. He and his family left the citizens of Texas behind and went to Cancun off our tax dollars. Right? What didn't take a leadership role and come on television and say, look, I'm with you guys, this is what we need to do. No leadership positions, nada. He in 80 to 84 degree weather in Cancun, relaxing on the beach, you know. But, you know, that's another eye-opening event to let us know that you got to take care of yourself. Like Mike said, they don't give a damn about us. It's true. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your family. You have to do what's right. You have to put your life on the line. And you have to live this existence with pride and with power. You can't stop. You have to live this existence. Pride and power. You have to be the best that you can be. Don't let nobody steal your joy. You go for the gusto. Don't let no racist get involved in anything that you do. You do what's best for you, and you go with what's best for yourself and your family. Don't put up with none of it. Love yourself, right? That's the best thing that you can do. Coming up out of this, I learned a lot, man. Believe I changed my whole way of life and my whole way of thinking coming out of this current snowstorm. You'll see a difference within me, because the day of pleading and begging and we shall overcome and amazing grace and let's hold hands and hopefully one day they're going to accept us and we all can get along and all that bullshit is out the window. Look, you get to a destination, you get to a purpose, you get to a goal. You put your energy into it and you go for it. And you love yourself, and the hell with who don't like it, and God forbid they get in your way. That's the kind of attitude and mindset you have to have moving forward in the future. Because the trick is, they hope that you still under the same Willie Lynch mindset. So all they have to do is give some kind of symbols and code words to keep you locked in place, and they don't have to worry about you. They feel as though you're so afraid that fear conquers you, and you're not going to step out of the boundaries that they set up for you, that you're just going to be stuck in place, and you're just going to do their bidding and whatever they tell you because you can't think for yourself. And I know we can think for ourselves, but we just didn't want to rock the boat. I'm telling you, rock the damn boat. You're not going to get nowhere not rocking. They don't give a damn about us, like Mike said. They give a damn about you. And at the end of the day, when you get old, could be about 80, 90 years old or whatnot, and they say, well, what was your aspirations in life? Well, I want to do this and I want to do that. Well, why didn't you do it? Racism, and I didn't want to. And they'll be like, idiot. We didn't have no power to stop you. All we had was words. Hell, the God got the power. If it's God's will, He gonna bag you and make sure you secure the talents that He gave you. You let us put fear in you? Hell, we don't even love ourselves. We gotta wake up, man. This is a new day. Do not fall for it. Don't fall for it. Out here in Texas, you got white people that's suffering. They going through it. Right? You got Asians suffering. Hispanics suffering. Black people suffering. Any race that's in Texas went through it. You got water pipes busting all over the place, man. Water tearing down ceilings. No electricity. A boiled water notice. You can't even drink the water. You got to boil it first. It's so much that's going on right now to where the bigger picture is self-preservation, and do not worry about the racism game is over with. As I stated, racism died with rush-limbaugh. Racism died yesterday. It's over with. Racism died February 17th. That was the end of it. We're going to bury racism with Rush Limbaugh. Put it all together, put it in the casket with him, and that's the end of that. Like I stated, what did your senator do, Ted Cruz? He went to Cancun. He didn't stand side by side with you, being a leader, giving instructions on what to do and comforting anyone. Hell, he took him and his family and he went with self-preservation. He looked out for himself. not everybody else. They give you the example. Look at Trump followers on January 6th storming the Capitol building. They were looking out for themselves. They wasn't worried about us. And you know what? The truth of it is they was bold enough to say, hey, we not finna take no shit. We'll come in here and tear this thing down. Who you think y'all playing with? See, that's the kind of strength we gotta get as black people. We not playing with y'all. Y'all keep killing us if you want to. We'll come in here and tear this motherfucker down. We talking, but they got action. They didn't give a damn. They will not be treated any kind of way. They will not be stepped on. They would not let their liberties be taken away from them. They will go in there and tear the motherfucker down. Excuse my French, but it's one of those kind of days. And I'm saying that to show you that you got to have that type of courage and strength, to let people know, hey, don't play with me. I'm smart. I know what I want, what I don't want. I know what's best for me. I don't need you telling me what's best for me. I know what's best for me, and I'm going for it. And don't get in my way. Yeah, we got to have a new attitude coming up out of this. It's time for that. It's time, I've been offline so long. I'm getting so many phone calls because the power, not the power lines, but the phone lines are back on. Maybe to make calls, maybe to give calls. Power's finally back on, right? We've been out of power since Sunday. And I'm like, hey, new perspective on life in Texas. When you go through these type of situations, right, and you come out on the other end, it's like you can't tell me anything. I've been through it. Let me give you a quick view before we get out of here, right? Imagine 19-degree weather, right? 17-degree weather, right? And there's no power. Everything in the house is cold. You gotta cuddle up to try to stay warm. Pipes busting in your house. Water going everywhere. Right. So that means there's no water. Right. Everything shut down. No food. No gas. You just stuck. Right. And it gets worse when it gets quiet because there's no electricity. Shut down. Boom. Then you find out that they purposely turned your electricity off to ease up pressure on the grid. So now you got rolling blackouts. That they purposely turned the lights off. But they had lights out for 24, 48 hours. They just passed a law, passed into law that you can only turn people's lights off for no more than 12 hours now. Then people wondering, why did the grid shut down and it couldn't handle this type of weather? What's going on? Now we finding out that Eckhart, the company who Texas was dealing with, we finding out that they went for the cheap, wasn't prepared. Found out that Texas has its own electricity and is not connected with the nation's electricity. All kind of questions need to be answered. Why was people lights purposely turned off for 3 days? Who made that decision? When this is over with, a lot of heads are going to roll. A lot of questions that must be answered. This is Texas. You know how big Texas is and how many people are in the state of Texas? So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of questions that has to be answered when this thing is said and done. But I do want y'all to know this is Black History Month, so we still on Black History, but we creating our new history, letting you all know, be brave, don't take no shit, and be what God intended for you to be, and be free. Because the people who created that Willie Lynch mindset, they suffering too. They getting their ass kicked too. They went through it. And which proves that God did not show them no favors over you. God didn't give them 1 inch above you. They went through the exact same thing, had the exact same cries, had the exact same hunger, had the exact same fear, was cold just like everybody else. And so, once again, racism died with rush-limbaugh in this frigid, cold conditions in Texas. They all went together. World Pig Radio, we're out.